The truth about Kaspa smart contracts. I was excited. You were excited. The chart doesn't look so excited. But in this video, we're going to go over everything I've learned in the last week. We're going to see what the Kaspa developers, lead dev behind Kaspa, had to say about these smart contracts and what are VPROGs and why is that the solution that Kaspa needs. Guys, it's going to be a great video as always. None of this is ever financial advice. Cryptocurrency is extremely risky and always do your own research. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it's been extremely, I've learned a lot, okay? I was gonna say it's been frustrating, but I've learned a lot about Kaspa. I really have, because I was extremely bullish on smart contracts. But then getting deeper into it and understanding how the L2 that Kasplex released really works and how there may never be actual native smart contracts for Kaspa, but there is this thing called VPROGs. So I wanna get into something that I did know. L2 smart contract launch, as I just told the Discord, I've been hearing a lot about them, and I'm going to bring some of the newest, freshest projects building on Kaspa's new layer 2 into the Discord, guys. So use code FAM69, get 69% off forever. I can't wait to see you there. This is built and maintained by the Kaspa community. So whenever you're looking at Kaspa.org, very much when you look at Kaspa Unchained over on X, it is not the official team, but the official team, Jonathan Sompolinsky, Michael Sutton, Shay, they're still there, okay? Or they're still on X, right? So coming over here, you see smart contracts came up, and I talked about this, and I've said multiple times, and I'll tell you again at the end of this video, what's going to make Kaspa pump, you know? And it's not just this announcement of L2 smart contracts, but I do want to go about this with just giving everyone the honest truth. So hashtag, who is Jonathan Sompolinsky, the founder of Kaspa, was talking about getting questioned about when will Kaspa L2s be truly permissionless, and he pretty much came on to say he has nothing to do with it, and he views L2s as an unwise path which risk repeating Ethereum's mistakes, and he's voiced this concern for several years. So this is the founder of Kaspa that's saying that L2 smart contracts are not a good idea, but some of the other team members voiced some actual more specific concerns that I would like to get into. So if we come over here and we take a look at what Michael Sutton said, like the lead dev of Kaspa, you know, he says a lot right here. And I don't want to read this word by word, but a couple things he says. The above means there's no settlement on L1. So there's no real settlement on L1, he says. In order for this normal L2 operation to be centralized, other than Kas bridging, which must hold some form of trust, its code base must be open source, which we have said before, something I've been a critic of, that Kasplex's code is not open sourced. And Shai Waborski also had some things to say about it, okay? Like, why aren't the fees going to the L2 instead of the L1? And he talks about how what you're seeing is not an L2 siphoning the network, but L1 miners not capitalizing on the transaction influx. This is when they were doing a test of how much transactions could actually be put through. But something I think is very interesting is that there is some good that's came out of all this, because basically everyone on the team is critical, but I will say they are saying that they would want to help. And a lot of people have said that even though they do not believe that this is the answer for Kaspa smart contracts, that they do see it as a net positive. It shows that the Kaspa layer 1 can handle stuff being built on top of it, which is very critical, because I truly believe, even though I'm critical of these smart contracts now, and I do not think they're the solution, I'm going to get into right now what I do think is the solution. I do think they were a good job, a good attempt, and I thank Kasplex for doing that. I really, truly do. But everyone's saying VPROGs is the answer, and so I am not that smart, guys. I'm not Michael Sutton. I'm not Jonathan Sompolinsky. I'm not Shay. Guys, I am not that smart. I came over here to good old ChatGPT and ask it what VPROGs are. So this is short for virtual programs, a new kind of virtual machine code. And as you can see right here, VPROGs give Kaspa a lightweight, efficient, and scalable way to handle programmable rules, otherwise known as smart contracts. So why does this matter for Kaspa? It's known for its speed and scalability with its block DAG, but this keeps it weight. It doesn't over heavy weight the nodes or anything. Better security, scalability first, and customizable. But this is going to be huge when Kaspa does get these, okay? So in simple terms, VPROGs is Kaspa's version of smart contracts built for speed and scale. They are not wanting to do what Ethereum did, having to have smart contracts on a layer 2. Like I said, the only successful network that's ever had successful layer 2s is Ethereum, okay, with Optimism, Base, and Arbitrum. But whenever you take a look at Bitcoin, even their layer 2s don't do good, right? So people want native smart contracts layer 1, but like I said, it has not all been negative. Coming over here, you can see Wolfie reposted Nick Sabo, excuse me, was the person that first coined the phrase, the term smart contracts, and he's coming back talking about everything going on with Kaspa and smart contracts. So that's very, very good. Dan over here with over 299,000 followers over on X is starting to think Kaspa is actually not just full of bots. He thought there was bots replying to his comments, but in all actuality, it was actual Kaspa community members, and that shows how strong this community is. So whenever I take a look at the chart and I see the chart down like this, that doesn't look good, right? We all thought Kaspa would be over $1 right now. But when you see large influencers over on X thinking that the comments are botted, when really it's real people, like these are people that I interact with, right? Like I understand these are a real vibrant community. And guys, just again, I want to thank Casplex for really bringing the layer 2 onto Kaspa. I do not think it's the solution. I do think VPROGs probably will be. I'm thinking that is what's going to scale Kaspa to what we think, what can get Kaspa to be a top 10 cryptocurrency by market cap and really compete with the Cardanos of the world, the Trons, and then eventually the Solanas and maybe even Ethereum. But guys, right now, that is what I wanted to share because I was extremely bullish on the start of smart contracts. But then the more I got looking into it and the more centralized that I seen the L2 was with Casplex, I wasn't bought in. But VPROGs is the way that the team is envisioning smart contracts coming for Kaspa. But it's going to take time. But I want to know, still, after all of this news, what is your price prediction for Kaspa at the end of this cycle? I want to know down below. Watch this video up above, and if you're not a part of the Finance Freeman family, what are we doing? Subscribe. I love you all.